Minecraft Java Snapshot 22w16a is here, and it introduces a new music disc, new loot for the ancient cities, a lot of tweaks to the Allay, and much more. My name is Bruno, and today we're gonna be taking a look at all these changes. But first, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more amazing Minecraft content. Let's get to it. Change number 1 is a brand new music disc. It's called Fight by Samuel Aberg. I hope I'm not butchering that name. I haven't heard it yet, so let's give it a spin. Oh man, it's all Minecraft sounds. Alright, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, so I'm gonna put it right here. I'm sure you'll be able to hear it all over YouTube. I also want to get copyright strike. And I know what you're thinking, but Bruno, how do I get my hands on this amazing new disc? Well, that leads us to number 2, new loot on the ancient cities. From this snapshot onwards, if you open a chest in an ancient city, you may find a disc fragment. If you manage to get 9 of these and craft them, you'll get the new disc. This is the only music disc that can be obtained in this fashion, and I'm guessing it's an incentive for players to visit the ancient cities. Do you think this incentive is enough? Is it now worth it to visit an ancient city? Leave a comment down below with your answer. And speaking about music, there are 4 new music tracks apart from this one. They are called Ancestry, Airy, Firebugs, and Labyrinth. They play in certain biomes and in the main menu. And for this next change, we'll go outside because it's time to talk about the Allay. A lot of tweaks were introduced to these little guys, starting with their health. It has been raised from 10 points to 20, doubling the amount of health they have and making them way harder to kill, which I think is appropriate considering how hard they are to find. Also, the delay after they throw an item has been reduced from 5 seconds to 3, drastically increasing the speed at which they operate. This is gonna be great for sorting systems. Also, the distance at which they can pick up items has been increased from 9 blocks to 32. This is their old range. As you can see, it was quite short, and this represents their new range. You also need to think that this is a radius, so the same distance from here to here applies on this direction and also on this axis. That is quite a lot. And also, their speed has been tweaked. When they are wandering like this, they are now slower, and this is a good thing, because one of the problems with the Allay is that it was really hard to catch them, right, and give them the item you wanted them to hold. As you can see now, it's relatively easy as they are really slow. There you go. But when I throw an item, you can see that their speed increases a lot. That is because their speed when going after items, going to the player or going to a notebook has now been increased. They made the Allay a lot more efficient. And the last change to the Allay is that the arc at which they throw items has been tweaked following community feedback. It seems to be lower and shorter, much easier to manage in contraptions. That is all for the Allay though. Let's move on to more changes. By the way, if you are enjoying the video so far, make sure to hit that like button. It's really going to help to show this video to more people. Thank you. There are some changes to the spawning of frogs, as they can now spawn on top of grass, mud, moss carpets, mangrove roots, and muddy mangrove roots. I gotta be honest here, I love frogs. I'm going to have a ton once 1.19 comes out. And while we are on the topic of frogs, all 3 types of Froglight can now be moved using pistons. And I have to say, I didn't know you couldn't do this before. There's also been some changes to the predictability of randomized events in the game. Things like the placement and velocity of things dropped from droppers and dispensers, placement and velocity of items dropped when containers are broken, the velocity of horses spawned from skeleton traps, the randomized portion of damage and velocity of arrows, the randomized flight pattern of fireworks, and the moving patterns and time until you get a fish for fishing rods. All these randomized events are now more predictable and no longer have a possibility of extreme behaviors. I remember stuff from droppers flying everywhere. I think this is gonna be great for redstone contraptions. There's also been a ton of bug fixes indicating that we may be getting close to a final release. And last but not least, 4 paintings that were unused in Bedrock Edition were also added to Java. These are Earth, Wind, Fire, and Water. These paintings are not placeable by default, but can be added through a data pack. And that's it for the changes. 1.19 is closer than ever. Leave a like and subscribe if you like the video for more content. And on the meantime, you may be interested in checking this video. My name is Bruno, this was Snapshot News, and I am out. Goodbye!